What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again. I've got a special live stream today. As everyone knows, today it's the transfer window day today. But as you know, Forest have signed Olympiacos right back dräger on a I don't know how long it was, but I thought I'd get a special guest, Olympiacos fan in Costa, in Gate 7. He might know more about our new signing. So, Costa, introduce yourself.
Hello, mate. Thanks for the invitation. Good afternoon or good evening to all the Forest fans.
Good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. Wherever you're listening from, I'm not going to assume all the Forest fans are in the UK. It might be some in Australia, it might be some in the States. I don't know. Did you guys know that you have lots of fans in Greece?
Anyway. Yeah, we've got loads. We've got loads.
But thanks for having me on the show. Great work you're doing over there, and happy to come here and talk to you about Mohamed dräger and anything else you guys want to talk about.
Yeah. If anyone's got any questions for Costa, please put in the comment below. Like I said, there's so much things we'll answer. And like I said, we brought in the dräger as well, but Costa might talk about he might know more about the Olympiacos side, because I know there's quite a lot of Forest fans a bit iffy about Makalakis and whatever the relationship is. So people, if you do want to ask any questions to Costa, please leave a comment below. I'll try and get all the comments as I can. But before, like I said, do start, Costa. I know Costa's got a YouTube channel and podcast as well. So Costa, talk about that before we go ahead.
Yeah, so actually, Gate 7 International is a podcast channel that was created about a year ago in August during COVID. It's 4 of us, Olympiacos fans, 3 Greeks of the diaspora, 3 of them coming from the United States. One's living in Canada now, one's living in Baltimore, one's living in Switzerland. And
so where are you now? Where are you?
I'm in Belgium. I live
He's
in Brussels.
Belgium.
I've lived in Brussels for 14 years, and I grew up in the UK. I'm a London boy. Lived in London, till I was 18, moved to uni, then moved out here. Been an Olympiacos fan for as long as I can remember, passed on by my father, and you know how that's done. We have 3 objectives as a podcast. Number 1, informing Olympiacos fans in the diaspora in English of all the news related to the club. Second objective is to connect the fans outside Greece to the fans in Greece. And thirdly, to create new Olympiacos fans around the world, not necessarily Greek ones, but people like yourselves, for example.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to start with the Nottingham Forest have announced the signing of Olympiacos right back dräger. If any Forest fans don't know much about him, I don't, and this is why the reason I've got Costa in to explain more about the right back. Like I said, we've had so much Olympiacos players, like we've had Cafu, Bukalakis. Who else have we had, Costa? We have Guerrero as well. Sidami as well. We've had so many players from the Olympiacos, but like I said, it's a good time for Costa to talk about the new signing right back. So Costa, please, to us Forest fans, what do we want to know about our new signing?
All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So let me start from some facts. Last season, we lost Omar El Abdellaoui. You might remember him. He played for Hull for a season under Marco Silva. He was our captain. He went to Galatasaray. We couldn't sign a new contract. And Rafinha came in as our number 1 right back. It was Rafinha that played for Bayern Munich. Yeah. He'd gone back to Brazil, and we signed him in as a veteran right back to fill in for Omar. And Mohamed dräger was a bit of out of left field signing that we made last year. He had a similar profile to Omar El Abdellaoui in that he was, at the time, 24 years of age, played in the Bundesliga, Tunisian international, born in Germany. So he had those, raised in Europe, but roots in Tunisia. So he had a similar profile in that sense to Omar. And the hope was that we'd found another player like Omar El Abdellaoui. He was a gamble player that was on, in the youth team at Man City. Yeah. Anyway, it didn't turn out like that. What I can tell you about dräger statistically is that he played 10 times for us last season. That's 657 minutes, 0 goals, got 1 assist. 5 key passes in the season. Some of his good stats are passing stats. So he had 85.5% passing accuracy, 18 progressive runs. That's runs up the field with the ball at his feet. That's 2.47 progressive runs per game. So he likes to get up the flank. He is a very attacking fullback. That's both an advantage and a disadvantage in a sense that one of his weaknesses is that he tends to get caught up the field and doesn't get back to defend. So he likes to get forwards. He's pretty good in his passing, his interplay. He's involved in build-up. He'll overlap a lot. He'll open up space. He'll create space from the overlap. His crossing's not bad. But then defensively, he's a bit of a liability. That's what I can discern from what we've seen in 10 games. And bear in mind that he never really got a consistent run in the team to say that, all right, he's had 4 or 5 games on the trot. So it's hard to really make a clear, like 100% clear judgment call when you don't see a player like that play consistently. But for me, like I've outlined let's say the pros and cons of the player in terms of his attacking prowess and getting forward, and then just defensive frailties. He's quite light, so he can get muscled off the ball fairly easily. Even though he looks pretty built, so I don't know. It's a gamble player for you. I think it could go really well, or it could not.
Are you worried about? Like I said, I mentioned like we had players like Cafu. Like Cafu, he hasn't played for as much this season. We've had Bukalakis, like he came from Olympiacos, now he's gone back to Olympiacos again. And we've had so many players. Like, are you worried? Like he's gonna be a player that, or Makarakis has said, you know what, you're not good enough. Go to Forest and try and do something there. Do you think he'll succeed?
Whether he'll succeed is a question that will be answered on the field. I'm curious. I really am curious because I think he's better than what we've seen. I think if he gets a good consistent run in the team, then who knows? Transfer's always a gamble, right? But to answer your first question, do I think it's one of those where Marinakis is kind of shipping him off to Forest?
Yeah.
The truth is that he was on international duty until fairly late on into pre-season. We started our pre-season quite early in June because we had qualifiers for Champions League. He didn't join up with the team at the beginning, and he never played in any friendlies. He was never really integrated into the manager's plans. So you know, I think it's one of those cases where they haven't found a move for him. He's not in the manager's plans, and I think the club's just said, send him to Forest, see how well he does over there, and go from there. What I understand, it's a season-long loan, like 1-year deal.
I sure this is permanent, didn't it? I thought it was a permanent move.
You never know. You never know.
But I think when we signed Cafu, that was a loan move. Then out of nowhere, it was a permanent move. I was like, what? I was like,
yeah.
Forest fans, comment below. I don't know if I thought it was a permanent move. But comment below, people, if he is a permanent move or not. Right, this, like as you mentioned, like this move. Oh, wait, it is undisclosed fee. Undisclosed fee. It is. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Right, unbelievable. Right. So, like, this player, like, do you know if he can play left back or can he play a midfield? Is he just more of a right winger?
I think we haven't seen it, but I think he could play as a wing back in a formation where you play 3 at the back. So he can cover the entire wing. He's got legs. He's got good stamina. This is my friend Labros, one of my co-hosts.
Okay. How you doing, Labros? How you doing?
So he can't play left back. No, okay, he can't play left back. He'll be a good right back, back up. we were talking just before the show started about what your options are. I understand you've got an injury and a player that's just left today. So as I said, he can play in a back four, and it'd probably be fairly decent in a formation where you play three at the back and him covering the wing.
Right. So, like I spoke to Costa about before we came live about the relationship between Forest and Olympiacos, and like I said, Forest fans, if there's any comments that you want to tell Costa, put them in the comment below, and I will try and get as many questions. Like Costa, the question is, like I said, with Makarakis, and as a Forest fan, I know, like I said, Olympiacos is his baby. Forest is like, as we joked, I think you joked about it yesterday, but I think someone mentioned it as a sister club. Which I thought, and we don't hear nothing about him. Like, I don't know, as an Olympiacos fan, what do you see as Nottingham Forest?
First of all, in Greece, Nottingham Forest does have a reputation as a big historic club. It does have a big reputation. You wonder, was it the Cup Winners' Cup at the time, or the equivalent of the Champions League?
Yeah, Champions League.
Some decades ago. So it's a historic club, and my feeling was really that, you know, obviously he's a wealthy man. He spends a lot of time in the UK because of his business there. And I think he did have real ambition to take a historic club like Nottingham Forest and take them back to the Premiership where you belong. Of course, the income in England is vastly superior to the financial situation in Greece, and the money available, the TV revenues, and so on and so forth. So I don't want to speculate on whether he wanted to kind of get Nottingham Forest to the Premier League and then use some of the TV revenues to kind of bolster up the Olympiacos finances or anything like that. So I thought it was a genuine kind of venture and ambition for him, but he isn't the type of chairman, at least for Forest, that is going to manage things. And maybe that is part of the problem at Forest, in that he's got other people managing the club, and he's not really been that hands-on. At Olympiacos, when things might start to go bad, he'll be in the dressing room the next day.
Yeah,
and
he will. We've heard that.
Yeah, and he will remind the players where they're playing. And 3 seasons ago, before our current coach Pedro Martins came in, he told them, "Fix up, or all of you are gone." And that season, before Pedro Martins came in, we got rid of 26 players.
26.
We got rid of 26 players, and we bought in 24. So he's not.
What season was that? What season was that?
That was, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, 2018.
That's when Makarakis brought Forest into.
Don't quote me. I can't remember. I think he bought Forest. I think he bought Forest. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was the same season. Maybe it was
because I think Makarakis. I think when we had the Fawaz in, Makarakis was slowly coming in. He was making some decisions for Fawaz, and then whenever happened to Fawaz, every Forest fan knows what happened to Fawaz, and then he took control of Forest. So I think that was the season that he brought in Forest. But yeah, carry on, Costa.
Yeah, so he's not a chairman that he doesn't faff around. Like, when he says something, then he means it, and he's not afraid of taking drastic decisions. At least at Olympiacos. Now, I understand Vredzos was the
CEO. Right, yeah. Costa, I've had so much comments about this guy, and it's something like I said. Loads about Olympiacos. I think where's the comment? Here it is. This one. Why is Vredzos so involved in transfers? Like, I don't know if you know the backstory. He was at Forest for 4 or 5 years, and he had control of Forest, and he basically did a mess. Now he's gone back to Olympiacos, but he's still a director at Forest.
Yeah.
As an Olympiacos fan, what was he like with you lot? Because, like I said, he is. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to selling players, he can get the money in, but the rest of it, if he doesn't get his own way, he spits his dummy out. What's he like with the Olympiacos?
You mean Vredzos?
Vendros, Yanis, as people call him.
To be honest, mate, he was in the back. You know, he was backseat.
He doesn't talk, does he? He doesn't talk.
No, you'll never hear from him in public or anything like that.
He was there for 4 years. He never said a word. He never said a word.
I don't think it's not his profile. From what we understand here in Greece, he is a close confidant of Marinakis. So Marinakis trusts him. They do business together. Besides that, look, mate, Olympiacos has kind of gone through a bit of a rehaul the last 4 or 5 years in terms of how the club is run, in terms of bringing in people that are from the football world to actually deal with football things. And I'm trying to perhaps put this in a nice way. Vredos isn't a football person. Like, I don't know if he's ever kicked a football in his life. The people that are in the backroom staff now at Olympiacos are people like Christian Carambo.
Is he the CEO at Olympiacos?
Carambo is the
director of football.
Yeah, so Modesto is the director for football, and then Carambo is like a sporting director, and he handles a lot of like international relations stuff. And you've got this kind of French network that we have of former players, and then people like Vasilis Torosidis, who was our captain for many years. He went off to Roma, had a good career abroad. So you've got football people in the backroom staff and football people that are, you know, liaising with the manager about decisions that we make about transfers, and, you know, who do we want to sign and what kind of system do we want to play, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, when I look at somebody like Vredzos, to me, it's just he doesn't know much about football, and he needs people around him to help him do that. And now I understand there's the former Monaco president or his son that's over there at Nottingham Forest trying to play that Modesto role.
I don't think Modesto's there at Forest now.
So, no, there's
the kid from Monaco. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I don't think he's there. Don't quote me wrong. Don't quote me wrong, because I don't know if you know. Like, we've got a completely new scouting system. So I've not heard. I know you're talking about. Right, people in the comments. I know who Costa's talking about. Let me try and find it because I know you're on about. It's the thing with Ventros. Like I said, I don't want to be, he what he did with Forest. Like, the only good thing he did was getting the. We talk about Matty Cash, the one of the best players for Forest.
Yeah,
he got good money for him, 16 million, but the rest of it, it's not been Forest like. Like, if he didn't get his own way, he spits his dummy out. So this is the thing I want to talk about. Like, we talk about like Forest players. Like, I'm going to mention Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva came to you a lot. Sardani, he came to you a lot. People mentioned in the comments about Silva. Like, what did Silva do anything good for you lot? I know he's not there no more, but what was he like?
Average, but then again, the competition that he has at Olympiacos, when you're competing against players like Madi Camara or Jan Villa, even Bouchalakis improved a hell of a lot when he came back. He's a very clever player. He's definitely not the fastest player that you have on the pitch, but his brain moves very, very fast, and he sees things quicker than other players. So again, it was one of those situations, I think, for Thiago, that he just didn't get a good run in the team, and then the expectation of the fans every time a player comes in is that you've got to perform immediately. And I think that he's that kind of Portuguese player that, to me, is a little bit light, if you know what I mean. He's not like, you know, he's got that kind of light mentality, and also physically he can get pushed off the ball quite easily. So it just never really panned out for Thiago Silva.
There's another question. Like I don't know where this question's gone somewhere regarding like Marquez is really strict on so much things. Like I don't know if you know, we've got like a bomb squad at Forest. Is that like happening at Olympiacos as well? Like if you're not good enough, you got to train with the kids. What's it like at Olympiacos?
Oh, sorry. Say that again. You mean say that again?
Like basically, right. Like if we got at Forest, like if you're not good enough, we've got like a bomb squad. Like we've got, okay. I think, and we've got those 2 players. One's gone today, and we've got 1 left. And in the past, we've had players like I don't know if you know Jan Carvalho, Albert Adomo. Like I think Jan Carvalho was about to join your club. I think it was last year, but he didn't want to.
Yeah.
What I know, like I said, Marquez is ruthless on these kind of things. What, like as you mentioned, if you're not good enough, you get rid of him. Is he really that bad on like at Olympiacos doing that kind of things?
So you've got to understand that Olympiacos is the kind of club where if you lose one game, it's crisis mode. So the fans will turn on the team, on everybody involved in the management of the club very quickly. So it's a high pressure club, as weird as that might sound for fans in the UK, because you look at the Greek league and you don't consider it.
Yeah.
It is like it's a low standard league compared, like the Championship is way above. But Olympiacos is a high pressure club, and the demands and the expectations from the fans and from the management and from everybody in and around the club is that you go out and win every single game that you play, particularly when you play at home. It doesn't matter if you're playing Real Madrid. It doesn't matter if you're playing La Mia. You go out to win, and there is a winning mentality at the club. And if you can't mold into that mentality and have that winner's mentality, then you're going to be out the door very quickly.
Like the people, if you are on this channel, please do hit the subscribe button. Like if you're new, and like I said, if no one knows it, this is Costa. He's an Olympiacos fan. He's got a YouTube channel called Seven Gates as well. He's linked below, so subscribe. People, is there any questions you want to talk about Olympiacos and Forest connection as well? Please put in the comments, and I will try and get them as much as I can. Costa, like I said, we mentioned about the new signing right back, and we've had so many players. We have like Cafu and blah blah. Like, why does Marquez do this? Like, as Forest fans, we just see he's bringing Deadwood to Olympiacos to Nottingham Forest. Like, how's Olympiacos fans? Do you see the funny side of it? Like, or what do you lot see about it?
To put it bluntly, it is a bit of an inside joke. It's just like, if a player's not performing, it's just like, all right, ship him out to Forest in January, or ship him out to Forest in the summer. It's become a bit of an inside joke. But yeah, I don't want to rub salt into the wound too much, but pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're going to give you Kostas Fortounis or give you somebody like Madu Camara or Daniel Podenza that we.
There's a problem.
We're not going to give you Daniel Podenza that we sold to Wolves for 25 million. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not.
There's a thing like he played against Forest for Wolves the other day, and I said to a few Forest fans, I think we was linked with him before we did to Wolves, and he actually ripped us apart. And we see all these. I remember. I don't know if you know Costa. Like people, I saw my vlog. I went to Olympiacos when Olympiacos beat us 3-0. And I remember Guerrero. He scored. I think he scored 2 goals, and he actually ripped apart Matty Cash. And I don't know if you know Costa. We've got my colleague who was on this channel called Malcolm Owen. He said that Matty Cash wasn't a right back because Guerrero actually ripped him a new arsehole, basically. And he come to Guerrero signed with Nottingham Forest, and we're getting these players like, why they're not just useless. Like, why can't I think who's that centre back that Olympiacos got? the tall black guy.
Just now,
Yeah, who was it? One of the dreadlocks. What's his name?
Kinkue.
Is it King Kue?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know it.
into. Oh, hang on. You're talking about Semedo.
Semedo, that's it. Semedo. Is he still with you lot?
Yeah, he is, but he's in a bit of trouble right now.
What's he done?
He's been accused of rape.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's a criminal proceeding now, so he's been before the court. He's a bit of a head case. Very, very talented player. When he wants to be, he's a top centre back. Could be world class. He's just been in a lot of trouble. Even when we signed him, he still has a suspended jail sentence in Spain for possessing arms, kidnapping, some really weird long story. Anyway, the long and the short of it is Villarreal loaned him out to Portugal, I think it was, and then Villarreal couldn't keep him, so we capitalized on that. We paid 4 million, I think, to Villarreal. We gave him a second chance. It's now going into his third season. There have been some rumors about unprofessional behavior off the field, drinking. He scored an own goal in a qualifier that got us knocked out of the Champions League. On penalties? We got knocked out, and then he basically got Marinakis, and the club decided that he was no longer considered, and we were looking to ship him out. And it was rumored he might move to Porto, Benfica, maybe Forest. I don't know. But right now he's in trouble. He's going through a criminal proceeding, and we're waiting to see what the justice system decides.
Wow, I never knew that. But Forest fans, if you know, that's me though. Right, there's some questions for you, Costa. This is from True Red. Costa, do you think Forest is like a trail club for Olympiacos?
What do you mean? Do you mean like Olympiacos is a parent club and you're a feeder club?
Yeah.
That type of thing?
Yeah.
Look, you mentioned, are we just sending you your dead wood? Kasami's a good player, man. He plays for Basel, like the Swiss champions now. He's matured a lot since he played for Forest, and since he was playing for us, he was younger. He's matured a lot. But I think, like I said, Bukalakis is a good player.
Guerrero, you know the Bukalakis thing. It was strange for Forest fans because when we brought him from Olympiacos,
and then he scored 2 goals on his debut. I remember.
And then it was funny. You know when he went back to Olympiacos, Forest didn't say nothing. We didn't say he's gone back to Olympiacos, and it was funny. I think that was a strange one, but he didn't really succeed at Forest. Like I said, he scored 2 brilliant goals against Brentford. But since from that, I didn't hear from him. And now look at Olympiacos; he's winning titles for you lot.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to mention Guerrero as well.
Yeah,
Guerrero was a decent player. I just think he's not what you guys needed. Like, you guys needed a goal scorer that can score a goal every 2 games.
Yeah.
And that's not what Guerrero is. Guerrero is the kind of striker that will play 30 games a season and score 9 goals. You know, he's the type of like a Kevin Davis. I don't know if you remember Kevin Davis that played for
Bolton. Yeah.
Just he's a workhorse. If he's on Football Manager, he'd have 20 work rate and 20 determination and 11 finishing and composure 8 or something. So it's not what you needed. So I mean, if you're going to take a player like Guerrero, then you've got to play him, and you've got to find a system that works around him, like with wingers that can score goals and press high up the field. To be honest, I haven't watched Forest play much the last couple of seasons, but Guerrero is that kind of attacking player that can play at the point and can press the defenders and be a nightmare for them.
He was used at Forest. I'm not going to lie, he wasn't that great, Guerrero. He played 1 good game as a number 10, but far from that, Costa, he wasn't that great. Forest fans, remember the comment below. Guerrero, was he good enough? I just don't think he's like, and that's why we talk about Olympiacos players coming to Forest. Like I said, the only player that I remember that was okay was at Forest. I think who was that striker? I think it was. What was the striker he scored against QPR last game? Huh?
Velhos.
No. Someone in the comments will know. People in the comments. Who's the guy? Who's Olympiacos? We brought from Olympiacos. And he scored a few good goals for us. I forgot his name. Probably people. Someone in the comments will know. Costa, another question for you. Costa, who's your favorite Olympiacos player in your opinion?
Right now?
Yeah.
All right. Right now, probably Madi Camara. He's international from Guinea. We signed him for 400k from Ajaccio in League 2 France, and now he's worth 20 million euros. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He shouldn't be playing for Olympiacos. It's his fourth season now. I'm very surprised that we managed to hang on to him. Favorite player of all time, probably Giovanni Silva. If any of you remember him, played for Barcelona. He likes a nutmeg. He likes a chip from the halfway line. Brilliant player.
Okay. Right, the player is Do Daily. Shout out to Des. Des know who it is. This one. That's
Kareem.
it. Kareem Selfie. He was the thing. I don't get this right. Shout out to Des for that, and shout out to make sure people subscribe to Do Daily. It's a fantastic channel as well, so people subscribe. Yeah, he came to Forest, and this was a strange one. He did okay, and I think it was the last end of Martin O'Neill's era. He scored a few goals, and then he suddenly just left Forest, and I think he went to Iran, and then I think he's gone back to Greece now to play for.
He's playing for AEK.
Who's it?
AEK.
That's the word. He's gone to AEK. Like, what was it? Was he a good player for Olympiacos? Like I said, he was okay for Forest.
He's a goal scorer. He'll get you goals. Kareem was a weird one because I think he played for us, and then I think it was that season I told you we got rid of 26 players.
Yeah,
I think it was the end of that season they decided that they didn't want to keep him, and he went to Forest, and I remember he had some work permit issues. It took him a long time to get a work permit, and then finally started getting some games. I'm not surprised he was all right for you. Again, he's one of those players that he will score goals. If he gets the ball in the box, like 7-8 times out of 10, he's going to put it in the back of the net.
Right, so let's say everyone in the questions asked Costa. I'm going to ask him a few questions as well. But Costa, like, as Markakis, like I said, he's been for Nottingham Forest for like, is it 5 years or so? Like, he's been at Olympiacos. Like I said, Olympiacos is his baby, and everyone seems like I don't know when the last time he spoke about Forest. Like on social media, he doesn't really say things about Forest. Is he that type of person, not just to just keep focus on his baby and not focus on other business and that?
Look, even at Olympiacos, he doesn't interfere. Like he trusts the manager to do the job, and he trusts the people around the manager to help steer the club. He'll only come in when he needs to congratulate the players for a big victory, or when there's an important game coming up. He might go to the dressing room. He might promise them a bonus for winning or something like that.
Yeah.
Or when he needs to give them a slap in the face and tell them to fix up, he'll do it. But otherwise, he's not really the type that he won't interfere. He'll let others do the job, and he won't be there to micromanage. But for sure, I mean, look, if you're trying to weigh up like how much does he love Olympiacos and how much does he love Nottingham Forest, then it's not really a fair competition.
Do you think, like I said, because like you said, he's been at the club for like 5 years. Do you think if he's like I said, he's said in his past interviews, he's a successful person? Like Olympiacos, they've won trophy after trophy after trophy, and as you mentioned, Forest is a massive club. And do you think he might lose patience with not getting to the Premier League? But like I said, our past owner, he was horrible. And when we heard about Markakis' past about this, and don't get me wrong, he spent so much money on us, and we can't deny that. As an Olympiacos fan, are you like a little bit I don't know, cheesed off. Like when I went to Olympiacos, Greece, when Forest played a friend, I spoke to Olympiacos fans, and someone was like upset because he's spending so much money at Forest and not at Olympiacos. What's your thoughts on like him spending so much money at Forest but less attention, not much money at Olympiacos? What's your thoughts on it?
That's a good question. Honestly, I try and separate the two. I try not to mix those bags together, because if I start talking about that or go down that line, then it's a never-ending road. I mean, we've been screaming that we need a wing back at the close of this window. We need it badly, but it doesn't look like it unless something's happened in the last 37 minutes, and I haven't seen on my phone. I haven't checked anything. But,
I'm waiting for a new signing yet.
Yeah, no. But no, mate. To be honest, is not something that I've seen in chatter, like on social media or anything like that, where people would whinge about Marinakis is spending too much money at Forest and he's not focusing enough over here. We've got one of the highest wage bills we've ever had.
Well, we have two. We have two.
Yeah,
we have two.
I mean, we've signed some players this summer that the kind of players that would be difficult for us to buy. Like we signed Tiquinho this summer. He's a striker, Brazilian striker that played for Porto for 3 seasons. Very good players, like market value of €9 million. He was a free agent. He played in China for a few months, and he got released because of what was going on over there. And our manager managed him in Portugal, Guimarães, and it was just, it was putting 2 and 2 together. So we managed to get a player like that to come and play for us. So yeah, I don't really think it's much of a discussion, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm not surprised that you had that kind of banter outside Karaiskaki if you were talking to fans about that when you went.
Yeah, it was a funny subject. Like I said, when I went to Olympiacos, like it says about the Macaracas relationship with him, so they'll say it's good that Forest fans have got a good connection with Olympiacos fans. But like I said, when I met I think how can I be nice about them? The hooligans. So they was upset with Macaracas, like it's paying too much attention or spending too much money on the club and not spending more time on his baby, as you want, if you want to class it as that. But it's something that Macaracas, like I said, he's spending so much on Forest, and would he say it's time to give up because he's tried so hard and we've not been. I think as you don't know, as Forest fans would see in the comments that we are frustrated with what's happening. And I mentioned like Yanis, the CEO, he was shocking at Forest. Like I said, he was good on small dose, but the whole thing, he was not great. But I don't know. It's difficult to think how long we last, and it's just difficult what's going to happen. I think that's the issue.
For me, I don't think he's the type of person to dump an investment like that. I think he's invested a lot of time and money in Nottingham Forest, and I don't think he's the type of person that will give up. I've seen that you haven't started the season particularly well this year. Nope. Seen some chatter that you might even be in a relegation battle this year. It's hard. Like I don't know the squad very well, so it's hard for me to tell, mate. But in terms of Marinakis' character, he's not really known as the type of person that's going to give up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of reaction coming soon. Chris Hughton, is he really the type of manager for you? I've been really shocked by some of the manager decisions, because I thought Martin O'Neill was a really good manager.
Don't say that. Because no. There's some Forest fans in the comments. The problem is, because like we've had so many. We've been in the Championship, League One, Championship for 23 years, and we've had managers come and go, and some people are fans of out. Like O'Neill was okay with us, like he was all right. we had Kankio, we have Samuel Limucci. We've had so many managers, but the problem is we want to be in the Premiership.
Was
that's the
it
problem.
Limucci that had you in a playoff position last year, and then COVID happened, and it all went down the
Or
toilet?
went down the toilet. I think it was 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago, and that it's something that we can't talk about on the stream, Costa, because some Forest fans, I get upset about it. That hurt me. Like, I don't know if you want to know. No, I'm not going to talk about it because that still hurts me. Forest fans, comment below. You know how you know whether we don't want to talk about it again because it was a horrible. We needed 1 point from 3 games and we lost all 3, and it was a horrible decision.
I was upset. I was like, what the fuck? How can you tank it like that?
Dude, it was a horrible
sorry.
experience. Like, I remember doing if Forest fans know, some people are really good at watching my channel. It was a horrible. There's a comment from Gary, a 7-goal swing in the last game. It was just horrible. Have you ever any witnesses that with Olympiacos? With that kind of thing game, has it happened to Olympiacos?
Where we've bottled it. Like,
yeah, we bottled it. What's the worst thing you bottled as an Olympiacos fan?
Oh God. No, to be honest, domestically, we've dominated so much the last 2 decades almost. The last league we won was the 46th championship we've won in our history. We've won 2 on the trot, and then before that we hadn't won the league for 2 seasons, and that was really unthinkable. It was the first time I can remember that we went more than a season not winning the league in the last 20 years. So if we fudge things up in the league, it's not like we normally do it really, really bad. Can I think of other times that we've really, really bottled it? No, mate, it's just been a lot of like unlucky things. I don't know. The worst experience for me was Liverpool in 2004. I was at that game, Anfield. Even Forest fans, even you probably remember that Gerrard goal at the end. And we had 9 points in our group, and we went to Anfield and we needed to lose by 2 goals, and we went 1-0 up in the first half, Rivaldo free kick, and then Anfield just went like that, and they were just attacking wave after wave in the second half, and it was 1 goal. I think Neil Mellor got 1, Cinema Pongo got another 1, and then Gerrard scored that goal at the end, and we were out. And that for me was the worst experience that I've had at an away game. And I remember the bus ride back to London afterwards was pretty depressing.
We've had it for the last 23 years to cost us. I won't get that upset about it. Like, it's just a bit miserable what's happening. Right, right. So people, I'm going to get going here, but is there any questions that you want to ask to Costa? Please do them quick. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, like if you're new, and as well, Costa has got a YouTube channel as well called 7Gate International. His link is below. Last but not least, Costa, like I said, with the relationship with Forest and Olympiacos, like I mentioned about Olympiacos. Some fans sometimes would be jealous of the relationship with the money that Marcos spends. Like you mentioned, like how many trophies have you had? How many league titles have you had in a row with Olympiacos?
The last 4 seasons we won 2. The last 2 in a row.
Okay, so what like Olympiacos season? What is it? Has it started well for you, or what's happening? What's happening with Olympiacos?
Funny question. So the only leagues on the European continent that haven't started are the Greek League and the Albanian League this year. They're fighting over TV rights. So the first 2 fixtures got postponed because they couldn't agree over TV rights. Each club's looking for different contracts. There's no collective bargaining, so there's not one channel with the contracts. So yeah, the league hasn't started, but we've played 6 matches. We played 4 Champions League qualifiers, and we've played 2 Europa League qualifiers. Disappointed to get knocked out the Champions League by Ludogorets. We had a COVID outbreak in the team at the beginning of the season, so that screwed us. We were playing one of our Champions League ties against Azerbaijan champions with our B team. Essentially, we managed to get through that, and then players didn't get back in time or back to match fitness in time to knock out Ludogorets, who we got knocked out on by penalties because of my cursed English background. So
oh days.
So yeah, no, we'll be playing Europa League football this season.
Right, so people, like I said, if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. But Costa, it's been a pleasure for talking about, like I said, Forest have signed Olympiacos right back. We've signed another defensive midfielder as well from I think from Paraguay side. But if you're not, some of vlogs out now, so go and check this out afterwards. People won't finish. But Costa, it's been a pleasure for coming to the channel. And like I said, people, like I said, Costa's got a channel, so please the link below. Go and subscribe to his channel. Like I said, I watched it this morning, and I can watch more. Like I said, with my channel, I like to promote other channels, so hopefully some Forest fans come and watch your channel, and hopefully I can come on your channel so I can talk about Forest, because I think you need some.
That would be interesting, actually. No, for sure, we could do that one time, because I think Olympiacos fans are also interested to get the Forest perspective a little bit. It's something that we haven't done, and it's something that we have thought about in the past, actually. So yeah, let's be in touch to do that.
Yeah,
and I hope you managed to turn it around.
We need to turn it around.
And as I said to you offline before we started, all Olympiacos fans are Nottingham Forest fans de facto. So yeah, we're behind you. We're rooting for you guys, and we really hope that you can turn it around.
This is a question from. Is it a free channel? No, it's free. It's completely free, like my channel. It's completely free. Subscribe to his channel. That's all you gotta do. Click it, and that's all. But yeah, Costa, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for very much for taking time for coming to the channel. And like I said, people, hopefully Olympiacos do well this season.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Costa. Right, so that's Costa. Thank you. Like I said, make sure you do hit the subscribe button. Like I said, Forest, I said it's still transfer window time. There's still another 15 minutes. I know Forest, I've been linked with someone, so I'm going to try and look at that in a moment. But like I said, people, I'm going to get going. Like I said, Forest, I've brought in 2 players so far. And I do apologise for everyone for not looking at the all your comments, but like I said, it's just been a whirlwind. But like I said, people, thank you for watching. I said, hopefully we can get this the new signing from West Ham, I think it is. I'll do a little content towards it. But like I said, people, thank you for everyone for coming and watching. Like I said, thank you very much for Costa again for coming on the channel. Like I said, people, subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you soon. Up the Forest.